This topic, sorry, it gets me emotional because I've just seen people go through that and sorry. um, and they feel it in their soul and in their spirit that it was wrong. And they deal with that pain and that shame and regret. My husband himself, him and his sisters, they are all a product of rape. And I mean, that's my husband. So to imagine that, like, he wouldn't be here if his mother didn't decide to keep them and raise them.
That is such a weird thought, though. If you didn't get raped, I wouldn't have my husband. So thanks. What?
You are watching a master at work.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy WattsTV, man, and today we have a reaction video. Today we are reacting to Jubilee yet again. So Jubilee posted a video a couple of days ago. It says, if Christians were 100% honest. Now, I think this is going to be very fascinating because I don't know. I guess I consider myself a Christian. Like I pray, I believe in God. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't go to church, but that's specifically so that I won't be disrespectful. Like, I'm not going to hold you. When someone is talking at me, it's like it goes in one ear and comes out of the other. I know there's a lot that can come out of church, you know, from the stories that they tell and how they can relate it to your everyday life. I understand. But nine times out of 10 for me, like personally, when I am in a church, it's like a lullaby. Like, I go to sleep so fast, and I promise you, I'm not here to offend anyone in the comments or anyone that's watching this video who is like really religious. I get it, but this is why I don't go, because I'm like always tired. First of all, I have insomnia, so that doesn't help anything. So sometimes I get sleep whenever I can. Like, a lot of these videos that I work on, I'm working on them at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, you know? So, yeah, I just don't want to be disrespectful, so therefore I don't go. And it's not like, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be listening, guys. There's so much shit that goes on in my head. But when it comes to my faith, personally, I feel like there are a lot of contradictions, especially between, like, avid churchgoers and, you know, people who are a little more, like, deep-rooted in their faith as well. There are so many contradictions, and yeah, I always thought this, even as a kid, a lot of things didn't make sense to me. So I'm very curious to hear, and you know, I'm curious to hear what these people are going to say, since they're being 100% honest. But yeah, but before we get into the video, guys, please do me a favor. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. It really helps me out with the channel and lets me know that you're rocking with the content. And also, I need you guys to join my Discord, man. Just a quick shout out to Juju, Sandra, Leo Carnage, Justin the Reaper. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But as of recent, we've been talking in there, you know, having a nice dialogue. We've brought up some of the topics that I talked about in my videos, and also some people actually sent suggestions of content for me to react to, and a lot of that content I'm going to react to this week. So yeah, I need you guys to join the Discord, and also follow me on my social media at WattsTV94. That is at WattsTV94. That is my Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, and again, share, like, subscribe. All right, let's get into it.
What will be revealed when they take the mask off?
Oh shit. All right, shout out Future.
There is something wrong with LGBT people.
Woo! Wow. I cannot wait to hear what they are going to say about this topic. Wow. Me personally, I have no problem with the LGBTQ community. I just think you like what you like and you can't help it. Like, and it honestly, it has nothing to do with me, so I could care less.
I'm going to say
2.
a strong no. Yes, I believe that homosexuality is a sin, but saying that like LGBTQ plus whatever people, there's something wrong with them as people. As
Bro, I'm only laughing because I be struggling with that shit too. And it comes off as so disrespectful, but like I really struggle with it. LGBTQIA plus what, like it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
human beings, that's a harsh statement.
Agreed.
So it's a hard topic.
This is a really sensitive topic because I know that a lot of LGBTQ people have been hurt by the church. They've been hurt by Christians. I personally have family members who identify as they, who are homosexual. While God hates sin, he loves the people and he loves.
Okay, I'm confused. Then why do you agree with this statement if you are saying that he loves the people and he loves the homosexual? So I don't know where he's going with this. And this is also one of the issues that I personally had with the Bible, because they say homosexuality is a sin, but also God loves everyone. He loves all of his children. So which one is it? Can two of those things be true at once? Like I don't know.
The homosexual and he loves the transgender.
But
because he died for them.
But
the problem that I do see with LGBTQ people is that the lifestyle, it does take away a lot of things. They're depressed, they're lonely all the time, and that's not the life that God called for you.
okay, but I don't think first of all, I don't know where he's getting these facts from. Like I would love to see like studies that say, you know, people a part of the LGBTQ community are more lonely and depressed, but that's not, what does that have to do with you being homosexual? There are straight people out here who are lonely and depressed. I take depression medicine. Like, what do you mean? I'm confused. Like, I don't understand the correlation.
When you receive Christ, the Spirit of God can deliver you from homosexuality.
No, he cannot. You know what? Let me not say that. But that's just, no disrespect to anybody's religions, but that is just not true. That is simply not true. I had a really good friend of mine that just recently passed away. He was a part of that community, and he loved God. He was so deep rooted in the church. He didn't stop being himself. He still like lived that lifestyle, and he was fine with it. And he also loved God at the same time. So I think that's a weird thing to say. Like I don't even know. But yeah, I just don't think that's true, because people are going to be whoever they want to be, especially if they're comfortable in their own skin, and I respect it. Like I love when people are unapologetically themselves 24/7. That's how my friend was. He was a part of that community. He was huge part of his church community, and he never changed. And it was fine. Like, he was loved by so many, including myself.
I've seen it happen. People who identify as bisexual.
Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just saying it doesn't seem likely, in my opinion. I don't know.
Or homosexual, and God delivers them, and they no longer choose to identify that way.
One thing, the Lord says that if you have sinned against one law, you have broken all the laws. And so every single human being is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask that question, homosexuality is wrong, well, sure. But are they a different type of wrong? No.
That's a good point.
Type of wrong. They are the same wrong as
all of us.
I am.
I feel like we tend to magnify the LGBTQ community. For example, I come from a Hispanic household, and sexual abuse is brushed under the rug so many times.
Straight.
But you choose to magnify, let's say, my gay cousin over my molester uncle. You know what I mean? It's massive. There's something wrong with both.
And the question is then, why do we magnify the sin of homosexuality? It's because no one goes around saying murdering's okay, that theft is okay. But there are people going around saying, well, love is love and homosexuality is just love, and they're trying to justify it. And so the church has to do some sort of defense.
What you talking about? What kind of defense? because the defense that I'm talking about is not like, it doesn't work. Like, I've heard crazy stories about the church trying to purify homosexuals, if you will, and that shit never works.
And that's why this sin gets more attention than the others. And so they can escape their shame not by marching down a street shouting pride, embrace who you are, look within. They can escape their shame by casting it on Christ and receiving his forgiveness.
Hold on, going back to that really quick though. I agree with the gentleman that says, why is that sin different than any one of us? Like, we're not perfect. Let's be honest here. Most Christians, like a good percentage of us, have had sex out of wedlock, which is also a sin. Like, why does that make us better than, homosexuals? Just a question. Women who get abortions are murderers. Okay, let's get into that. Okay, everybody agrees? Boy.
Man or woman has no place taking a life that they didn't breathe into. There is no going around that one, I think, for Christians.
To be fair, within the time span of when you're able to get an abortion, technically there's no life there just yet.
You kill a baby, that makes you a murderer.
Wow. Wow. Jesus Christ. I just feel like that is such a harsh and like kind of cringe stance to me, because there are so many situations where like an abortion is justified, like especially like in the instance of rape, and there are also instances where an abortion can literally save a woman's life. So to call them a murderer is wild.
This topic, sorry, it gets me emotional because I've just seen people go through that, and sorry, and they feel it in their soul and in their spirit that it was wrong, and they deal with that pain and that shame and regret. My husband himself, him and his sisters, they are all a product of rape. And I mean, that's my husband. So to imagine that, like, he wouldn't be here if his mother didn't decide to keep them and raise them.
That is such a weird thought though. If you didn't get raped, I wouldn't have my husband. So thanks. What? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand what you're saying, but just the thought of that is wild. But also, I feel like you cannot slight other individuals that are not ready to have a child, and that had obviously like a terrible experience from that, R word. I'm not gonna say it. I think I already did, but I forgot YouTube likes to demonetize videos with that type of verbiage, so my bad.
It's sad to think about.
Maybe it was not in a good experience. Maybe you were raped. Maybe you were a victim to something abusive. Maybe it wasn't planned. But let me tell you something, God, he's never early, never late. He's always on time. And the fact that you were given this gift of life, and if you can't handle it or you can't take care of it, there are options.
I'm just wondering.
I mean, that's fair.
What would you think of people who like stand outside of like abortion places and try to stop people?
It makes me so upset, like the people who just protest and try to shove and judge and condemn others.
Okay.
That is not love. That is not God. That is not how he would handle people. Jesus is very gentle, and he would not make them feel like they cannot come to the Father because they are in shame. Or
to an extent, I would have to agree. I would say that is not the way to go, and that's another part of the contradiction of like Christianity that I will never understand. Like, people are so quick to condemn and just shame them to fucking death, and yeah, it's not godly. It's not
worthy.
I do want to address, I think there's a misunderstanding about what people do who stand out in front of abortion.
Oh, enlighten me.
What they're doing is not abusing them, they're not attacking them, they're letting them know that there's options, telling them
Oh, no. No. They are not nicely standing outside saying, hey, there's options, there are, just to let you know, I'm not trying to sway your opinion and your decisions, but there are other options, and I just want to give you some pamphlets. No, they are literally outside of these abortion clinics with fucking signs saying you're a murderer and just saying these wild, crazy things. No, every time I see people outside of an abortion clinic, it is extremely rowdy, it is extremely disrespectful, and they are not nice, they are not pleasant. So get out of here with that.
offering to adopt their children.
Whoa! I didn't hear that
They're
one.
doing really important work. And if we all believe that abortion is murder, and we all just said that we do, well, then what it is mass murder. It's genocide in the United States.
Sound like Kanye.
It's worse than the Holocaust.
Oh, he really does
so
sound
I
like
wouldn't
Kanye,
wanna-
bro. Look at me. Look at me. Look, he really do. Kanye said the same shit. People need to stop comparing abortion to the fucking Holocaust.
Out in front of the concentration camp saying, "Don't murder Jews." I would want to go alongside that person and applaud that person for being courageous. And I think that's really important work that all Christians should support to help try to fight abortion in this country.
Nah, bro, that's wild. That is wild.
I have had sex outside of marriage.
And let's hear this one, because you know what? I know they're going to be capping, bro. They're going to be capping. Most Christians had sex outside of marriage. They are going to be capping. Look at y'all are lying. You telling me only 2 people? Lies. Cap.
Sorry.
Cap.
Okay.
Stop the cap.
Was doing it. We're on many cycles with that. Like, I've had an orgy with females. I've had.
Nani? Time out. So you're talking down on people that have had abortions, but you're out here participating in orgies? The fuck are you even saying right now?
You know that one person you can just hit up anytime you want to, and they're available. At some point you have to stop avoiding a sin, because God hates not sinners, but the sin, because it comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I'm now married, and my husband abstained till marriage, and he has had to deal with the repercussions of my sin in the past.
Yeah, I wasn't saved until I was 20, and before
That's
that
fair.
time, I did have sex outside of marriage. And even when I was first becoming Christian, I would hear people say, "Oh, you can't have sex outside of marriage." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll do everything else, but I won't do that one thing, because that's a really hard thing to give up."
Let me tell you something. When it comes to sex outside of marriage, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Could not wait. You know why? I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm not just gonna be inexperienced out here. You got to see what you're working with before you marry that person, and that goes for man or woman. You need to know, because I heard there's some trash men out here, there's some trash women that just don't know what to do. Everybody's just dead fish out here, just lying dead. Yeah, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
When you have sex with somebody, it's really hard to move on from that. You start feeling all types of things with yourself, and it's just remembering that God doesn't say this to be mean or to be a dictator, but to protect you.
Yeah, if I can add to that, to be completely honest with you, I'm scared of sex.
What?
I had a very traumatic experience when I was
okay.
younger, where I've had family members intend to take advantage of me.
Damn.
And because of that traumatic experience, I just have had that fear to be enclosed with just one man in a room.
Even
That's
though
fair.
I have not lost my virginity, pornography has been something that has been rampant in my life.
Ooh, that's a good point. Like, does that count? Huh? Is pornography in the Bible?
Sexual sin as well is truly, in my spiritual experience, has been almost equal. Going wrong against God, going wrong against self, that brings so much shame, so much guilt. But when the forgiveness comes, we see the true glory of God, because we see how broken we were and how reformed we are through Christ.
Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah, for me, this one's a pretty easy one. John 14:6, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If we're Christians, when we say we believe in the Bible, either we believe what Jesus said or we don't.
Yeah.
For me personally, I really don't believe that if you're not a Christian, like, you're going to hell. I don't believe. There are so many different religions out here that have like different faiths, and everybody's faith is different, man. And I just don't think there's like one. I don't think there's just one that is correct. You feel me? I highly doubt that. I think everybody has the same goal, but you're just getting there differently. I don't know how to explain it.
It's a tough sentence to answer, and to be honest, I suppose I can't just flatly say yes or no, so it's tough. But
yeah.
With that being said, what does Christian really mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I said no because everybody uses the word Christian now, right? I believe there's Christians who aren't going to go to heaven.
What about people who subscribe to, like, say Judaism or Islam?
Right.
It goes back to the Bible. It says that to go to heaven, you have to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord. And there's a lot of people who don't identify as Christians who believe that. What if there's a Satanist on his deathbed? At that moment, they confess with their mouth and they believe in their heart. Like, they didn't live their whole lives being Christian. Are they going to go to hell? I don't believe that. So I think to say that if you're not Christian, you're going to go to hell, it's kind of an absolute that drives more people away from Christianity than brings them in.
Fair point.
I'm thinking of babies that have died, and I don't think that they would go to hell because they didn't even know how to make a sound.
God gives us a choice whether we want to spend eternity with
That's a
Him.
good question. Like, babies, I never thought about like babies dying and like where they would go because they haven't lived long enough. Like, they haven't sinned. They were just born. So what happens with them? That's a wonderful question, huh?
Or whether we don't. And that's a free will choice that He gives to all of us. We all have to accept that we all are sinners. And the wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is separation from God. But I've heard people's stories who didn't even know the Bible and had near-death experiences where they actually went and visited hell the way that it was described in the Bible.
Oh, I feel like this is a good amount of people. I mean, to an extent, I'm afraid of dying too, just because I just don't know if I'm just gonna rot in the ground. Like, am I going to be reborn, or is there this like paradise nirvana like at the end of the road?
Die is gain. That's my father's favorite verse. We are gaining eternal life. We are gaining a new faith. We are gaining a new body. We are gaining.
I would love for this to be
everything.
true.
Not that being here,
I just don't know.
Its joys, but to be with Him, obviously, is
It's the best. Yeah. I always say I can't wait to die. My mom hates it. I always saying, it's like, God, take me now. Not suicidal, but we're always saying, but I get what you mean. I know what you mean.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait to die. It's crazy. Yo, whoa.
Yeah, we're always like, God, just come take us. Like, we don't want to be here anymore.
I look forward to the day where I see the saints gathered worshiping Christ, and I could cry about it. It is going to be so surreal and so beautiful, and death is just the way to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I fear losing my non-believer
Ooh.
friends and family.
I feel like everybody would agree with this one. Damn, y'all
It
harsh.
would be the greatest pain to go to heaven and not see your siblings there.
I would
I
say
mean, my
so.
dad isn't saved, and half my family are Catholic, and I can't imagine a more miserable place than away from the perfect creator of all things.
In John 6, Jesus says that of all those that the Father has given me, I will not lose one. And so God is faithful and just, and I trust God that He will save all of His people. I do pray for my loved ones who are unbelievers. I share the gospel with them, but ultimately I know it doesn't depend on me. Salvation is in His hands, so it's not for me to fear or worry.
In the Bible, it says that it's God's will for everyone to be saved. But at the same time, the truth is that not everyone will. When I was an unbeliever, I would always wonder, why are Christians always wanting to shove their beliefs down my throat? We know what the Bible says, that people will go to hell. And if we don't tell people about it, that blood is almost on our hands. And
Okay, all right. I would not say that. I don't know. A lot of the times when you shove your belief system down someone else's throat, it puts a bad taste in their mouth. No pun intended. And it also kind of gives off this air that you're right about everything and that you know everything. It gives you like this. How should I say this? Like this arrogant air about you. I don't know. I don't like pushing my beliefs on anybody. That would make, I don't know, that would just make me cringe. Like I can't do it.
Hear that there will be people that I know and love who won't ever come to God, but I know that there is still hope for them.
We'll have you put your masks back on.
I'm not gonna lie, that was actually that was an interesting video. There were some things that I agree with, some things that I didn't, some things that I learned, kind of. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I still have a lot of questions about my faith, and I don't know if that's a good thing, but I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I just feel like that I don't believe, So, for example, I'm baptized, right? So I hear this all the time. As long as you're saved, you're baptized, like you're good. You're gonna go to heaven. You're good. Even though I'm baptized and I'm like a murderer and I'm doing all this crazy shit, just out here wilding. Like you tell me I'll still go to heaven? Well, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will always have a lot of questions about, Christianity, just religion in general. But yeah, let me know your questions. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. I want to hear a healthy dialogue in the comments as usual. And yeah, do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Again, follow my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.